Happy Friday! Thank God. And it's a long weekend for me. I'm off on Monday. And I got home from work a little bit early today. So, coffee talk. We're going with iced coffee. And I wanted to. Okay. Now, I'm not mean. I don't think so. It's not kind of how I roll. Even if I'm talking about another person whose behavior drives me nuts. Um, Now, with that sort of warning, I wanted to weigh in again, and perhaps for the last time, about my friend. Uh, I use the term so loosely it doesn't even apply. Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me. Why? Because I checked in a week ago with where she was at, and the turnaround has been so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Um, just to preface this, I don't hate her. I've not talked to her on Instagram, on YouTube. I'm not blocked from her, as far as I know. I'm not sure I commented too much on her videos. I gave a few little shots of support, and I think she gave it a heart, maybe. And I've stuck up for her. Some of the only hateful comments I ever got, and they're not even that hateful, were for not being harder on her or not seeing the light. I wouldn't call this my come to Jesus moment with her, but there's a pattern that just within the last week, some of her behaviors and things she's done look nonsensical, but they make a little bit of sense to me, and I don't like the kind of sense they're making. So it's Friday, I'm rocking glasses, I'm wearing a hat because I'm feeling self-conscious about being bald today. So do indulge me, please. Now, the last time I checked in with her, and I'll put a card up here for that, was I have something to confess. That video came out a week ago. And in the confession, she was doing her post-vegan confession about how she'd been eating chicken and having dairy. Not the crime of the century, but when you tell people you're going to do one thing and you do something else, and that you've been lying about it for a while, kind of destroys trust, whatever trust she did have. So, off to PsychEmerge she was going to go, because apparently the binging was bringing her to a place of despair. So she was going to go for an assessment. So that happens. And then there's a live stream, which was, I'm looking at my computer, 2 hours long. Now, I'm in her corner, but not enough to watch her for 2 hours. I just couldn't. So I didn't. Now, if anything happened during that live stream that I'm ignorant of, I will own that ignorance, but I'm going to go on with the other videos. The next one is updates and clarifying something. So in the clarifying, there was a few things that were said, which were touching. I want to live, I want to get better. This was a good thing. She described what they did at the assessment at PsychEmerge, that she was not a danger to herself or anybody else. This is a good thing. I don't want her to be suicidal or homicidal. I don't want anyone to be in that spot. I've been there. I know that's rough. And it's not about what got her there. If binging made her suicidal, good that she went to get an evaluation. I don't care how silly the reason might seem to anyone, or even to me. I can't relate to being suicidal over the same reason, but it's all relative. So good, she went. She was discharged, and they changed up some of her meds. Again, good, because meds are nothing to play with on your own, so they played with it there and with doctors. And they recommended outpatient therapy, group outpatient therapy. Let me tell you what I know about group outpatient therapy if you're not admitted to the hospital. If you're not admitted inpatient, you usually go to the next lowest level of care, which would be, I'm talking about the States, so if you're from Canada, fill me in a little bit. This is how it rolls here. The next step down is partial hospitalization or intensive outpatient, IOP. It's usually a few days a week at least, and it's a few hours at a time. Now, if she's not going in specifically for eating disorder treatment, or even if she is, she might not be with people like her. It might not be a bunch of other people with binge eating disorder. If she's in eating disorder treatment, it could be with people who live with anorexia, bulimia, other variations on disorders. If it's just mental health outpatient, she could be in with people with other mental health diagnoses who have either just gotten out of inpatient and have taken the step down, or are one step from going into the hospital. Now, the parts I've said before of Chantal that annoy me are the ones that remind me of me, especially when engaging with treatment. I would put down money that we don't hear about that outpatient group therapy ever again. And I'll tell you why. I think if she does go, they'll either tell her something she doesn't want to hear, or she'll look around the room, see people, and will see the differences and not the similarities. She won't see herself in anybody else. She will see the differences between them and her, and will say, I'm not as bad, I'm fine, forgetting that 2 days ago she was being evaluated for being suicidal, and that I'm not like them, I don't need to be here, and then resume her normal life. Whereas in the same update video, she was saying all the right things, trying and fit, but the other stuff that came in the update video was talking about her veganism and how even though she's not succeeded at going whole hog on it, it's made steps, like she quit eating red meat and she quit doing this and quit doing that. And, if harm reduction towards veganism is the goal, I guess that's okay. The flip-flopping is a little exhausting. She talked about how in the group therapy, which is going to be cognitive behavioral therapy, you have to make, her words, a conscious effort. It's not a passive sort of treatment. When I think Chantal, God forgive me, conscious effort isn't the first thing I think would be one of her strong suits. I just don't think it's going to happen. So going into the next one, she did another live mukbang. Right after that, I don't know what she ate. I don't know if it was healthy. I don't know, whatever she told herself that it was fine to do. It's, again, it's her channel. I'm just small channel observer. But I didn't watch her eat for an hour and a half. Then she does some makeup thing that's supposed to be cute AF. I don't like watching people do makeup. I don't wear makeup. I don't compliment men or women on their makeup, usually. So whatever. Then she goes to Starbucks and lets the person in front of her decide what she's going to order. Now, I know this is a thing. I would never go do that. I don't care how many views it would garner. I would just feel dumb. Plus, I want what I want when I go to Starbucks. And I don't even go to Starbucks that much. I drink black coffee all week. It's the weekend now. Technically, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to put stuff in my coffee, and I'm currently wearing underwear, which I usually don't on the weekends. But we're not quite there yet. So in deciding what to order, she says, total 180 in this video. It's up to me to do what I want to do, and haters' comments will be deleted. That was in the notes. And she says, we're here for a good time, not for a long time. Here for a good time, not for a long time. Well, the long time can be a little contingent upon choices that we make. And I'm not saying she needs to go back on the vegan whole hog thing, but what happened next kind of showed that she had just pretty much abandoned everything that happened before, that the despair of the week before, that the plans of the week before, to engage in treatment, to make the conscious effort, to do more than just take a medication and hope everything works out okay, kind of just dissolved. And whatever she's telling herself to justify these behaviors is really strong. Like, the denial is real. It looks very, very real. And the one thing she said that really, really kind of put me off, and this put me off because I've done it, and I did it with alcohol, and she does it with Wendy's. I know. But this is wrecking her life, so I don't think it's too much of a reach to say, I would compare my near-dead drinking with her near-dead chicken nuggets. She said, I don't think it's realistic to think I'll never eat fast food again. Point taken. If you like fast food, you'll probably want to eat it again. But I'm also thinking of, there was another YouTuber I watched forever. She was one of the first people I followed, Diva Slims Down. And she was like a junk food junkie, lived on orange soda and Skittles and all sorts of other stuff, and got into a weight loss journey and really stuck with it. I mean, she was on the doctors, they helped her with skin surgery, they kind of documented some of that. And I think when she hit her weight loss goals, she went to McDonald's and got a small fries with no salt, because she wanted to indulge in fast food, but she wanted to stick with the things that were important to her. And so she did. Deciding today that I'm not going to go the rest of my life without fast food doesn't mean that right now I've got to grab my motherfucking keys and get in the car and ride to Wendy's, because today has to be the day. The moment has to be now that I go get that damn fast food. I mean, really? Really? I mean, wouldn't be doing myself any favors. So, and again, she brought Pete's with her, and as she's eating, she's setting up the mukbang on that tray that is supposed to go on the bottom of the steering wheel, but I'm guessing her body won't won't allow for her to put it at that level. I know when you're big, sometimes the distance between the steering wheel and your stomach can be a little hard, or your cleavage if you're a busty woman. So, you know, not knocking her for that, but it's an adjustment she had to make to the adjustment. And she's setting up the food, and he's talking, and she's barely looking at him. And I'm guessing the point is to entice the feeders. Feeders are the ones that watch, like when someone eats, if I'm correct with that. And he's talking, and she's like looking like not distracted. And I know they've been friends for 15 years, so this isn't how they probably feel about each other. But how she looked at him was as though he was drawing attention away from the food. And she was giddy as hell when the video started. I think she was getting as excited about it as someone who's going to cop, you know, dope, or someone, or me when I used to go to the liquor store. I could be hungover as hell. I could be shaking, have tremors. I could be like 2 minutes from a seizure. If I had a bottle of vodka in my hand, believe me when I tell you, even those physical withdrawal symptoms go away because the anticipation is so exciting to get that substance into your body that it just disappears. It just disappears. And it kind of looked a little bit like that might have been going on. So in this 1 week where she went from one end of the extreme to the other, from being almost hospitalized from the despair of what her eating habits and feelings about them were causing her, to being giddy as a schoolgirl, smashing what looked like, I used to have an eating disorder. Those numbers and the math and the calories are all still in there. Unfortunately, they take up a lot of real estate. I guesstimated, I don't know, between 2,000 and 4,000 calories for what she ate alone. And she ate it in 12 minutes. I mean, it was a straight binge. She may not have binge eating disorder. She may not have whatever, but the girl can binge. That was a lot of food really, really quickly. And then she was just basking in the afterglow when they were chatting for a little bit. So where does that leave me with our friend? I can't believe how many notes I had to take for this, because it was like as the world turns. I mean, I couldn't believe it. So she's deleting all the negativity, but she hasn't blocked comments yet. That's probably coming. She'll probably feel the need to justify this in a day or two because of it. I'm guessing the cycle of being contrite, or something may come with that. As to the hospitalization, like I said, I do think it's a good thing that she went. She may off camera have gone other times too, if she's had a lifetime of mental health concerns. You know, just because she put this treatment up there doesn't mean she hasn't had struggles before that she just hasn't advertised. So, but if she found, I'm looking at that video now, that updates, where's the one? The I Have Something to Confess got more views than anything else. If she thinks going to the psych ward is going to get her views, wait to see when she goes again. Just wait. I don't want to believe the worst about her, but if she's showing any authentic part of herself in any of these videos, she's going to do it again. Especially if it's going to garner sympathy, attention, and money altogether. I believe she'll probably go back. Now, if she needs to go back, go back. You know, I'd never think she watches my videos. Why the hell would she? But if you're hearing this, if you need to go back, go back. If you're going back for attention, spare me. Spare me. Because I've done it before, and it doesn't work. People get burnt out. You think people are burnt out and sick of you now. Wait. So, I don't know. My follow-up to this, all I can say is, you know, whatever helps you sleep at night. I don't know what you need to tell yourself to continue to live in this constant state of up and down and left and right. Whatever you're telling yourself and whoever you're surrounding yourself with that is telling you that all of this is okay, that this is normal. You know, we all have our crazy fun selves, and it's one thing to be quirky and, you know, have questionable decisions here and there, but it's another to be in a constant state of disarray. And that kind of seems like what's going on. You know, I decide on a new lifestyle every 4 days, and I write plans for it, and I buy a new journal to write it out, but then it doesn't work out. So I throw in the towel and I binge, and then I make myself sad, and then after I'm sad, I go get help, and then I cry into a camera. And it's just, if I'm exhausted watching it, she must be exhausted doing it. She'd have to be. And by the way, not for nothing, watch that script of Dilaudid that you have in the house. That's not good, because co-occurring eating disorders and drug and alcohol issues are not uncommon. it would not be a far leap to binge, not feel better from the binge, and reach for something else to try to make yourself feel better. I don't know who the hell gets Dilaudid for an achy knee anyway, but so it goes. So where does this leave me with her? I don't know. I still hold out hope of hopes, but I'm not going to probably be regularly checking in on her too much anymore. Maybe in a few weeks, maybe if there's some grand breakthrough that seems legitimate. It's unfortunate because I like to think I'm a good judge of character, but maybe I just really do see things in people that aren't there. I don't want to believe that she's a lost cause. I don't want to think that she's a bad person. She has friends and family. I mean, she can't be a total monster. But whatever, like I said, whatever she's telling herself to justify all this, I mean, all I can say is, whatever helps you sleep at night. My great grandmother used to say something like, oh, she's as happy as if she were right. Kind of like, don't ruin it for her. So I guess I'll leave it with that. Whatever helps her sleep. Between that and the CPAP, I hope she can lay her head easy at night. So that's my little mini rant, hopefully not hateful, but maybe a little bit about Foodie Beauty, Chantal, big beautiful me. So again, happy Friday. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up. You can follow Mark and I on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or you can follow us on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Please leave some comments below, good, bad, indifferent. I don't really think I've deleted any comments yet. We'll see. And I will catch up.